Hey Govind, how are you doing?
Doing fine. Can you hear me
Yeah,
fine?
perfect.
Excellent.
It's very early in California, and I know you traveled and already had surpassed an accident on the road. But now, how do you feel energized with Baldover?
Yeah, it's a hard act to follow. I was watching him as I was waiting on stage in the backstage, and it's a really hard act to follow. The energy he has is truly amazing. But ready to obviously kick things off.
Yeah, I was in San Jose, our headquarters, in early May, and I met with the video team, Dan McSweeney, and we talked about this event as well. And the first thing he told me was, "Oh, Baldover, he has to come back to this event." So this is always the first gig that we make sure that we have for this event. And I know
Really
you and
very cool.
Aubrey, you had been in Cannes last week for the Cannes Lions Festival of Creativity. They had lots of sessions, new announcements, creativity for sure, but only we have Baldover. But still, we want to hear from you what happened in Cannes.
No, Cannes was an amazing experience. This was my second time there. I was there last year as well, and there's something about the environment there that sort of just makes everyone calmer, chilled out, so to speak. But then everyone's still trying to get their work done and trying to have these incredibly valuable and meaningful conversations that move the ball forward in really meaningful ways. And what was fascinating for me was a number of things that we have done over the past few months, a number of the announcements we made recently, even at Cannes this year, were results of conversations that happened a year back at Cannes. So the networking that happens, and networking kind of has a taboo attached to it. It's actually networking with real intent. That in a very chilled out environment that was unique about Cannes last year, and I felt more of the same this year as well. So a really fun and valuable experience.
Great to hear. Let's dive in and see what happened also within this last year with Adobe Express and what are the opportunities that developers have to build on this platform. The stage is yours. Thank you.
Great, thank you. So yeah, as Ingo said, my name is Govind Balakrishnan. I head up Adobe Express here at Adobe. I've been with Adobe for many years, but for the past 3+ years, I've been focused almost exclusively on Adobe Express. We've been on this journey with Adobe Express for, as I said, for around a little more than 3 years now. We launched our desktop web application a little more than a year and a half back, and we've launched our mobile applications a year back across both Android and iOS. And all along, we've invested heavily in building a scalable platform that obviously met the needs of our customers as we were going through the journey. We were building capabilities that were expected by our customers. But as we were building the product, we made sure that AI and generative AI and the capabilities around generative AI could be surfaced in contextually relevant ways for the users, where the users would not have to go out of the way or would not have to leave the workflow that they were in to access some of the capabilities around AI and generative AI. And as we did that, we also made sure that the product was available and ready for businesses to use at scale. Ingo, if you can move to the next slide. We've built the product in such a way that it resonated, met, I think it went a little too far. Previous slide, please. The slide that says built for business. Yeah. So as Ingo was bringing that slide up, we essentially made sure that the product was ready for enterprises to use it at scale. We have launched a number of key capabilities over the past year, where we made the product ready for enterprises to do things like template locking and to ensure that content created with the product was on brand and could be done at scale by anyone within the organization. But more recently, we've also added a few new capabilities that we announced at Summit that we are very close to launching. They were in the context of more brand control. It starts with making it incredibly easy for everyone to set up their brands. It's essentially a one-click, the ability to set up a brand with one click by uploading your brand assets, and we would essentially extract the logos, fonts, and color palettes from your brand assets and create a brand kit with a single click. We launched the ability to, or we are very close to launching the ability to have customized homes where enterprises can have a home page that is dedicated to for their users and user base, where they have a one-stop shop to access their branded templates and brand kits. We've added native review and review and approval within the product. So now you don't have to leave Express to essentially go through the review and approval process that is quite critical for enterprises and businesses of all sizes. We've continued to lean into our ability to integrate more seamlessly with Adobe's suite of products. So we've had integrations with Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, and Lightroom for some time now. We have continued to make those integrations more seamless, more frictionless, where there's higher fidelity of data transfer between the applications. But more recently, we've also leaned in quite heavily to bring in integrations with Acrobat. And you'll see more and more of this surfacing within Acrobat. So we've had the ability to bring in PDF documents into Express for some time now. But what we are leaning into now is the ability to add Express capabilities to Acrobat, be it on desktop, web, or mobile, be it Acrobat or Reader. And you're going to be seeing more and more of that we've already launched a few of those integrations, but you're going to be seeing more and more of that in the not too distant future. But we are also not forgetting about the Adobe Experience Cloud. So we have some compelling integrations happening with the Adobe Experience Cloud, be it AEM Assets, Journey Optimizer, Marketo. And coming soon, there's an integration that we're really, really excited about, which is with Adobe Workfront, where you will be able to use Adobe Workfront for review and approval workflow. So if you're an Adobe Workfront customer, you can use Adobe Express with it and have Workfront be leveraged for your review and approval workflow. So you have native review and approval within Express itself, if you choose to do it there. But if you are a Workfront customer and you want to leverage Workfront and the review and approval capabilities in Workfront, you can do that as well. And then last but not least, we have, as I said, when we built Adobe Express, we made sure that AI and generative AI were seamlessly integrated with the product. We have continued to lean into that. Our generative AI continues to be safe for commercial use, which means that any of our customers can use it and not have to worry about infringing on copyright or IP. That is something that we have held true to, and we continue to believe in holding true to, because that's our way of protecting our creators' rights and also protecting our users who are using the product. So that's an area that we are incredibly passionate about, and we don't expect anything to change there. But we've also added a whole bunch of new features and capabilities that lean into our AI and generative AI strengths through capabilities like social safe zones, auto resizing, generate clips. It's something that we generate video clips. It's a feature that we're very excited about. Dynamic animations. It's a feature that I'm actually most excited about. It's physics-based animations that can be applied to objects. If you haven't tried it out in Express, you should try it out. It's one of the most delightful features. Drop zones, scene views, and the list goes on. So we have continued to invest heavily in making sure that the product continues to have AI and generative AI seamlessly integrated with it to make the content creation workflow as simple and as seamless as possible. Next slide, please, Ingo. So as we have gone through this journey, we have realized that Adobe Express has a role to play in addressing the needs of all our customer segments. So the 5 customer segments that you see on the slide is how we think about our customers. You see business professionals and consumers in the middle. That is so essentially anyone from solopreneurs to small businesses to mid-market and enterprises, essentially business users who are in any of these environments. What we find is that they are looking for the ability to create branded content. They're looking for the ability to create content for internal communications, for emails, banners, even LinkedIn content for that matter. They are looking for the ability to create a content for a variety of use cases. And Express, for all intents and purposes, addresses the needs of that segment quite squarely. And if you think about students, when we think about students, we're talking about K through 12 students. We're talking about higher education students, and we believe that Express gives the students the ability to make creative expression a key component of their digital literacy journey with the product. When we think about creators, we are normally referring to creative hobbyists or social creators, and they come to Express for the generative AI capabilities that we have in the product, for some of the mobile first design capabilities that we have, the ease of publishing to all social media channels, and so on and so forth. So that's an area of focus for that audience. When we think about creative professionals, we're talking about users who have historically used Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, Lightroom. Those users find incredible value with Adobe Express. It's their way of taking their content further, but also a way for them to work closely with their counterparts in other departments of their organization, where they start with Photoshop, they take their content into Express, they create branded, locked templates in Express, and then they distribute that to the breadth of the organization to enable on-brand content creation. So that's a workflow that is that's been lit up quite effectively and extensively by enterprises of all sizes through the integrations that we have between our creative professional products and Express. And last but not least, the marketing professionals are all essentially marketing professionals in organizations of all sizes. Starting could be CMOs, could be chief brand officers, essentially anyone looking to create content on brand. The capabilities that we have in Express around on brand content creation, as I said, template locking, brand controls, those are in service of the needs of that audience. So, as we think about these five audiences, for all intents and purposes, Adobe Express has a key role to play in delivering the features and capabilities that resonate with every one of them. But if you go to the next slide, okay, you're there. Ingo, what we've also been seeing is that through the work that we have done with all of you, actually, the previous slide, sorry, can you just stay on the previous slide? With the work that we have done with all of you, with the developer community, we have been able to deliver some incredibly valuable integrations that have served the needs of every one of these customer groups. Right, and there are many examples here. I mean, obviously, we have many more, and Aubrey, who's coming up next, will go into more detail on many of the other integrations that are underway. But if you think about what we have done with HeyGen for the creator audience, when you think about what we've done with Miro for creative professionals and how it's added value to creative professionals who are using Express and Miro in addition to the creative products, it's actually making a pretty significant dent to improving their ability to get done work sooner. When you think about the integrations we've launched with Metricool and Bitly very recently for marketing professionals, or when we think about business professionals and the color contrast, the color blindness simulator or the contrast checker, like those are key workflows that have had a meaningful impact to making our users more successful with Express. So the work that we have done with all of you as it relates to building these integrations, be it within the product as add-ons or through embedded workflows on other surfaces, has had a dramatic impact in making the product more compelling and more suitable for every one of these audiences. And this is the journey that we would love to continue to uh, uh, be on and continue to build on with all of you who are in attendance today and those who are watching online as well. Next slide, please. So if you think about how we have been thinking about the creative ecosystem, Adobe Express is available on both desktop and mobile. And we are also in parallel on a journey to bring more of our creative tools and capabilities to the to the mobile and web platforms. We've recently launched Photoshop on mobile. We already had Photoshop on the web. We recently launched Photoshop on mobile. Firefly similarly was always on the web. We have recently launched that on mobile. We have Firefly boards, which is an incredibly exciting product coming up very soon on web once again. So you're going to be increasingly seeing Adobe invest heavily in bringing our products to both the desktop and web platforms. And what's interesting and exciting about this journey is that most of these products and applications are built on the same platform as Adobe Express, which means that a lot of the work that you're doing to integrate with Adobe Express is in many ways extendable, or relevant, or can be applied, or applicable, maybe is a better word, to these products as well, which is a value proposition that we are trying to hold true to the extent possible, through this through the through by way of building these products on a common platform. So I'm sure this will be part of the conversations that will be happening over the course of the next couple of days. But it's something that we wanted to highlight, that we are increasingly bringing our creative products onto web and mobile platforms, and to the extent possible, we are building them on a common platform, so that some of the work that you all are doing to extend Express can be applied, or is applicable to some of the other platforms as well. So it's on some of the other products as well. Additionally, next slide, please. One of the things that we have been one of the problems or issues that with Adobe Express that we have been addressing lately is the fact that there isn't enough awareness around Adobe Express, and that's an area that we recognize. We have recognized as an area as an area that we need to focus on. And for those of you who have been in London recently over the past 3 to 6 months, you've probably seen billboards and taxis driving around with the Adobe Express branding all over the place. So we have started to, go deep with marketing campaigns and specific geos. We started with London and a large part of of UK. We are now also planning to bring some of those campaigns to other parts of the world. You'll start seeing more and more advertising around Adobe Express in the US, and very soon in other parts of the world as well. But we have recognized that it's important for us to, given the criticality of this product to Adobe's long-term strategy, we have realized that it is important for us to do the work required to drive the awareness for us to be successful with the product. And as I said, we've started with a significant campaign. We're referring to it as the Go Big campaign in the UK. We started with that around 6 or 9 months back, and if you've been to London recently, you can almost not miss some of these billboards and advertisements that are in train stations, as I said, around taxi cabs, and on large billboards all over the city. In parallel, if you go to the next slide, please, Ingo, we have also been leaning into some interesting sports partnerships. What you're seeing, the images that you're seeing here, was during the Women's FA Cup in Wembley, just 2 or 3 weeks back, during the finals. The branding and the advertising that you're seeing on the screen was what showed up all around that stadium. So this is a partnership we've had in place with the Women's FA Cup for a couple of years now, where we have worked with them to make Adobe Express a key part of how they interact with their fans, and how they interact with their how they as a league interact with their fans, and also how their players interact with their fans, and project themselves in various forums and platforms. So we expect to be doing more of the same as it relates to partnerships with these sports franchises and leagues. We recently announced a partnership with the NFL. We are also going to be doing more with the Major League Baseball, and there are a couple more large and exciting sports partnerships that are in the works that we'll be announcing in the next month or two. So we believe that there's a huge opportunity for us to drive fan engagement experiences and player engagement experiences using Adobe Express with these leagues and sports franchises, and you're going to be seeing us do more and more of this in the not too distant future. If you move on to the next slide, this is my last slide. So I just want to wrap up by saying, if you could go to the next slide, please. I want to just wrap up by saying that what we are trying to do is, as for those of you who were here at the start, we are in the business of innovating, but innovating to solve the right problems for the right customers to drive business outcomes. That is the business we are in. And we think that we have a huge opportunity with Adobe Express to be successful in that journey for every one of the customer audiences and customer groups that we spoke about. But the opportunity that I'm most excited about is to work with all of you hand in hand to see how we can amplify that and take that even further to essentially identify the right problems that we can solve for the right customers to drive the right business outcomes. And I think we have already made incredible strides on that front. But the opportunity that I'm most excited about is to see what we can do together as we look ahead, given the clarity that we have with the product, with the roadmap for the product, the areas of focus for the product as it relates to these customer segments, and the work that many of you have already done as it relates to leveraging our developer ecosystem to build these incredibly valuable add-ons and integrations. So that's where I would like to leave it. I'm really looking forward to hearing how these sessions go and the work that all of you continue to do. So thank you for the opportunity to speak here. Thank you, Ingo. I'm going to hand it back to you, and good luck to all of you. I'm really hoping the next couple of days end up being incredibly valuable, and we come out of it with even better integrations and better add-ons and capabilities that help our customers even further.
Yeah, thank you so much, Govind. And it's really great to see how far Adobe Express has come over the last few years, and especially last year. And not only are there so many more opportunities for developers also to reach businesses, and we even talk about monetization opportunities later today, but it's also great to see that on the other, or just turn this around, when we talk about the different audiences that Adobe is going after, Express is connected to all of them. So we are still, of course, committed to Creative Cloud and the creative professionals, as you have shown earlier as well. But we encourage everyone to have a look at Express, start building for Express in addition, and reach all these audiences with whatever your expertise is, or where you can find a feature gap or future gap and go in there. Thank you so much for joining us and giving the update again. See you, Govind.
Developers Live. Developers Live.